What's going on, guys? Jimmy Mahalik here, back with a second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update for you guys today. All right, guys, I got lots of answers for you guys in this video about when we can expect the money for the second stimulus check. I've also had a lot of questions from you guys about people who are on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security. We're going to go over whether you should get the next stimulus check. We're going to go over hazard pay for essential workers. We basically have a lot of good information for you guys in this video, so let's get started right away. If you can, hit the like button for me. It really helps out my channel. Okay, first up, the Treasury and the White House have been working directly with the Senate Republicans to pass the next stimulus check and the next stimulus package before July ends. That's right, you heard it, before July is over. As you can see here, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that Thursday the Trump administration is working with the Senate to pass a new stimulus bill by the end of July. They said that the White House administration supports a second round of stimulus checks to households and an extension of unemployment benefits and a much more targeted version of more PPP money for small businesses. They said, I had a very productive call with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell yesterday, and as soon as the Senate gets back, we're going to sit down on a bipartisan basis with the Republicans and the Democrats, and it will be our priority to make sure that between July 20th and the end of July that we will pass this legislation, aka the next stimulus package and the next stimulus check to Americans. So first of all, it's nice to see Congress actually acting with some sense of urgency for the American people, and they're doing this while they're on recess. And Congress also spoke out this week and wanted to go out on record and tell the American people that their recess isn't necessarily a vacation. It's just that all the Senate and House of Representatives, they go back to their states, and they're technically supposed to be working in their state with the people of their home states. And apparently they are doing some work because we're starting to see progress on the next stimulus package. And if they want to pass that by July 31st, which is what they said, that is exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to work very quickly on this. We're going to probably have a lot of upcoming news in the next upcoming days. So if they pass the next stimulus package and next stimulus check in July, before July is over, when will you receive the check? Well, first of all, if you're on direct deposit, you're going to be the first ones to receive the check. Now, based on how they did the last stimulus check, they sent it out in waves, so not necessarily everybody got it right away. But if you're on direct deposit, meaning that your taxes were filed and your tax refund was set up for direct deposit, or you use the IRS tool, which I will provide to you guys here in just a minute, and you give them your direct deposit information, you will get your check a lot faster than if you weren't on direct deposit. If you're relying on them to send you a check in the mail or to send you a debit card in the mail that they started at the end of the first stimulus check that'll probably be carried over into the second stimulus check, then you're going to get your check a lot slower than anybody on direct deposit. They have to print checks, they have to put them in the mail, they could get lost. All that process takes weeks of time. So if you are on direct deposit, the Treasury is saying that after this is passed, that they could get checks out within a few weeks of passing. So we could have the next round of stimulus actually hitting people's bank accounts in maybe the next 30 days or so. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and I will keep you guys updated on the news. So next up, how much will the next stimulus check be for? We don't actually know this for certain yet, as they're going to have to draft the details of the next stimulus package and the next stimulus check. What we do know to a pretty good degree of certainty is it'll probably be at least $1,200, and President Donald Trump and the White House administration have said that they want a larger check than the Democrats. The Democrats' proposal was for $1,200. So if it goes up to $2,000 or more, we will have to see. That is currently what President Donald Trump wants. Obviously, he's a Republican, and they want more than the Democrats, who want $1,200. So we will just have to wait and see. But if you ask me, it'll probably be at least $1,200 to adults and probably at least $500 to each child and possibly more. Okay, also, what about the $40,000 income cap that was proposed by Mitch McConnell, that anybody over $40,000 wouldn't receive a second stimulus check? So let's clarify a couple things about this. I've had a lot of questions about this, okay? So first of all, this is just something that Mitch McConnell said. It's not actually official, and the Democrats are actually against this, which is surprising because most of the high income earners are typically Republicans. So the roles are kind of reversed a little bit there. And the reason Mitch McConnell said he wants to do this is he wants to be fiscally responsible. But the second stimulus check is only as low as 9% of the actual stimulus package money is going to people. So with only as little as 9%, it could be more depending on how the details work out. I don't really think we need to be fiscally responsible by not giving money to people. They can cut out money from other places. But that's a slightly different issue. So let's talk about the $40,000 income cap. First of all, it's not a hard cap. I had somebody who commented down below in the comments and said, I made $41,000 last year. His proposal, the way it would work is the $40,000 would be the cutoff for the maximum amount of stimulus. So let's just say the stimulus is going to be $2,000. $40,000, if this were to go his way and he were to get this passed that way, you would only get $2,000 up to $40,000, and if you made maybe $41,000, then you'd get $1,900, and $45,000 would get maybe $1,800, and $50,000 would maybe get $1,500, and the scale would go down from there, okay? And that's how it worked with the first stimulus check. It started at $75,000, and if your income went up to $99,000, was the final cutoff where you got very little, like a $100 stimulus check. Okay, so if you make a little bit over $40,000, you would probably still get a stimulus check. It would just be a little bit reduced. But there's been a lot of pushback on this, and they're going to probably have to negotiate on this somewhere between $40,000 and $75,000, which is what the previous stimulus check income cap was. I will update you guys as we get more information on that, but it probably won't be a hard cap because it wasn't a hard cap in the first stimulus package either. Okay, the next question I get a lot from you guys down in the comments is, what about people on what about people on SSI? What about people on SSDI, Social Security? What about hazard pay with essential workers? Let me go over all that very quickly here. So, for people on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, yes, you will probably get the next stimulus check. The basic rule of thumb is if you got the first one, you'll probably get the second one. A lot of people that are on Social Security or SSDI are low income people, and they will, if that $40,000 threshold did happen, a lot of people fall below that. So A, you would probably get it because you got the first check, and B, if your income fell below that level, then you would doubly qualify. You would for sure get it, okay? So if you are a low income earner and you don't file a tax return, and that probably delayed your first stimulus check, this is the IRS website for stimulus payments, and I will link this to you down below in the description. If you're on a mobile phone, you got to click the little down arrow next to the title to find this. And what I want to show you guys is this little tool right here. So first of all, with this tool, you can actually provide your bank account information for direct deposit. If you didn't file a tax return for 2018 or 2019, that will delay your stimulus check. So you would want to use this tool right here. This is only for non-filers, people who don't file their tax returns. And if you want to provide your direct deposit information to get your second stimulus check a lot faster, you would use this tool right here. And again, I will link this tool down below in the description. You can go check this out. Make sure you read this before you actually go and enter your information. Okay, the next question I get a lot is, what about hazard pay for essential workers? So The first and main answer is we don't really know yet. There has not been a lot of talk for essential workers, unfortunately. There was billions of dollars put aside in the HEROES Act for essential workers, but as you probably know, the Senate and the Senate Republicans ignored that for 50 days. That bill's out the window. They're now going to have to craft a new bill and negotiate on it all here within the next few weeks. So I will keep you guys updated. There has been a lot of big major companies that have announced hazard pay for their employees. I recently did a video on that. Also, I will put that link down below in the description for you. Also, if you're looking for the big companies that were paying hazard pay to their employees, you can watch that video next. Also down below in the description, and I'll link these videos at the end on the screen to the sides, but unemployment was extended in 17 different states. I did a video on that yesterday, so if you haven't watched that, and if you are on unemployment, or if your unemployment ran out, or if you know anybody on unemployment, it'll probably be worth 5 minutes of your time to watch that video and see which states are extending unemployment, and this way you can share it with your friends, or maybe go back on unemployment if your unemployment ran out. Now, those are states that are extending their unemployment payments. The federal $600 boost unemployment is going to expire on July 31st, and a lot of people aren't going to get the last week payment for their July 31st $600 bonus unless they can extend that. Also, we're probably going to have a ton of news on that coming out in the next few weeks, so make sure you guys are subscribed. I will keep you guys updated as soon as that information comes out also. Regarding unemployment, one thing that really annoys me is when I see headlines like this: jobless claims at better than expected 1.3 million people for the week. That's 1.3 million new people just last week that went on unemployment. So if you multiply that by 4 weeks in a month, we're adding over 5 million unemployment people every single month right now to unemployment. And yes, we've fallen a little bit to 18 million people, but that's only because the country was opening back up. We're now starting to see certain states pause and even close back up. But when we're adding 5 million new jobless claims in every month, or 1.3 million per week, that just is crazy. I don't know how headlines are saying that is better than expected. If you look here at this graph, you can see the unemployment rate, and this is where we are now, about 11%. And, that's just way, way higher than where we were before the pandemic, when we were in the 3%. Even at 11%, that's like over 3 times the normal rate. And then, as you can see, that's why we're in recession. These unemployment rates are just out of this world, crazy high. And if we start to see more closures from the states, which is what we're seeing now, this is probably going to stay this bad or even get worse in the near future. And if that happens, we'll probably have to see more rounds of stimulus from the government. Some positive news is the company that makes the drug remdesivir, which is a drug that treats the virus, says that it considerably reduced deaths when they're treated with this. And of course, their stock shot up right away as soon as they announced this. But if this is true, this could be good to have an antivirus in the near future. Now, a lot of experts are saying that won't happen this year, whether it's this one or another one, that we're not even going to get something like that until well into next year. But it is good to see some positive news on this. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you haven't yet, hit the like button for me. It really helps out. It's like giving a stimulus check to this channel. Over here, I'll link the video about the states that are extending unemployment. And this bottom video is my most recent video about hazard pay from major companies. And over here, I'll link a video that teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling one product on Amazon. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.